advertisement for Monster.
Yeah, it's normally Red Bull. The kid, they know. Right? That's when I turn into my other guy.
Okay, I think I'm good.
You know that too, right?
Okay. Are you ready, Coach?
I'm
Should I call you Coach or Trustee Tyson? You don't.
Coach is fine.
Coach is fine. Okay.
Yeah, trustee is extra.
I just want to give everybody their
Yeah,
respect. Okay,
yeah,
so
no,
we'll
I
start off with that. Just giving us your full name and title.
Ready to go? Okay.
Yes.
Full name Dwayne Tyson. Title is the president and founder of the Dixmoor Vikings.
Okay. And where are you from? Like giving us your city, state, and all of that information.
I am from Dixmoor.
Okay.
You know, not born in Dixmoor, but raised since I was 2 years old.
So where are you born?
I was born in San Diego, California.
Oh.
Yeah, Navy, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's the base. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go right into coaching,
Mhm.
getting some of that background. So could you provide us with some information of how you directly became involved with coaching?
Well, I got two stories. One, when I was actually 12, my dad was coaching a championship game, and I was sitting in the crowd watching him make a mistake. And he was, kind of pacing back and forth, and I came down and said, okay, what you need to do is this, this, this. So I guess that would be my debut of coaching when I was 12. I had no clue. I just knew that it was a problem, came down and fixed it, and 20 minutes later, he won the championship. That was at 12. And he talks about that, when we grow up. But when I got back home from the military, I went to Cal Park and to help my brother coach. And he was there for one day with me, and the next day he quit. And he said, this team is probably not going to win a game. I don't want to do this anymore. And I said, oh, okay. So I was actually out there. I had no kids at the time. And I'm just like, okay, I'll help. The team haven't won in 2 years. What we're going to do? It wasn't about that. First time we took them to the playoffs that year. Then the next year I started the Dixmoor Vikings. Just from being a coach on accident.
On accident?
Yeah, and then the next year we had 270 kids.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because they saw what we did with that one level, which was actually the same age group, 10 years old.
So you became a coach on accident, and it just stuck.
Yep. I was party promoting, and I was a student at South Suburban College at the time.
Right, so tell us briefly, because I want to have this part of the story. Tell us the connection with South Suburban College and yourself.
Okay, I am a student, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do when I got out, and everybody said, when you get out the military, maybe you should go to school, and get an education background or do some type of sports, blah, blah, blah. So I had no clue. So I took a lot of classes, and I racked up maybe over 100 credits here at South Suburban. Had a good time, good teachers, good friends, and stuff like that. So
okay, that's just a really nice connection we can add to the article, that you do have that SSC connection. So I do know how long you've been coaching based on what I've researched, but could you just reconfirm how long you've been coaching? I believe it was after you left the military, correct?
Right, so 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
And how many students or youth do you currently coach right now? What's the number?
On my level specifically?
On your
was it
level.
25? Yeah, 25.
But over the years, how many would you estimate you've coached since that 14 years?
Ooh. So, no, this is the difference because you have coaches that just coach one level. Like, when I run the program, I was coaching, like, every level.
Multiple
so 6-year-olds,
levels.
7-year-olds, 8, 9, 10s, 11, 12s, 13, 14s, sometimes 15, depending on what you do. So, the answer to that would be thousands. Yeah. And I was the youngest president to start a program at 24.
Oh, another historical move. Okay, so the youngest. Okay, and the current level you coach right now, what's the age group?
That's 10.
Okay.
Even though they look like they are 12.
I was like, 10,
yeah.
Sure, okay.
So you got to be built like that to be a national team.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So explain the name behind the Military Dixmoor Vikings. Do I have it correctly? Is that the full name?
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
You got it.
What's the story behind the name?
Okay, well, I'm from a military family, and my dad was saying, oh, you need to get more structure in your program and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, what you want us to be, the military team? He's like, yeah, I do. And I said, okay, military. I'm like, how can I add this with the regular name? So military Dixmoor Vikings. they call me like the drill sergeant, and the moms could probably tell you. Because once I get on that, and they got to drop their hands a certain way and turn, they know I don't play. If I'm snapping like this, they need to do the same. So it's kind of like a military structure inside of football.
Oh, wow.
You know, so now it's like, okay, we could do a little more with the military thing, but it's really about the structure of it. How we move. You want to slap your hands twice and put your hands down. And if I say a code, I move my hand like this, they should know what it means.
And you don't have them getting up 3 o'clock in the morning now.
No, that's next year. They don't know about that. No, I'm just messing. Yeah.
Okay. So it's the military influence. Okay.
Yeah.
So for people who are not familiar with Pop Warner, can you explain like what is Pop Warner and what is that structure about? Why is it so significant for youth in football?
Pop Warner is the biggest league,
Okay.
you know, in the country, and then everybody associated with youth football, even if it's not that league, they call it Pop Warner because that's where it came from.
Okay.
Youth football is originated from. It's actually a guy named Pop. His name is Pop Warner. And
Okay.
it's a whole long story with this, and a lot of people that played in the NFL came from Pop Warner.
Okay.
College and certain things, but they do a lot of other stuff too. They got little scholars. All of our guys are on the honor roll. You know,
Awesome.
yeah, our team GPA is 3.1.
Okay.
You know, so Pop Warner is big on that, and it's a lot more structure in that league compared to others. You know, and I got to give it to them because they make you do feel like you're going through. I mean, your background check.
Right.
Little kids have to feel like they was going for a job interview. You know, but it makes you feel like this is what separates us from somebody else.
So in talking about like the job interview structure and all of that, is there a certain list of requirements that they have to fulfill in order to come on the team?
Yeah, it actually is. They can't have below a 2.0 GPA to even play. And there's like a check before the season, in the middle of the season, and at the end.
Okay.
Original birth certificates.
Okay.
They're pushing towards a state ID presence. And they have like a lot of requirements with parents, you know, no-nonsense type of stuff. But they are really, really strict.
Okay.
You know, like I've never seen it before. So they have a brand and a style of how they do things. You know, your jerseys have to be a certain way. You can't have it cut up and, you know, can't just do what you want to do in this type of league. I said, okay.
Right.
At first you frown up on it, but now you know why. The same thing going back to how the military is. Too.
Right.
Like they do this thing a certain way so you can do things like this.
Correct. And at the beginning of the interview, you talked about the importance of understanding the partnership. It's not just Dixmoor. Do you want to expand on that?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. So Proviso Bills and Dixmoor have a rivalry of playing each other in championship games. You know, and a good buddy of mine, Coach Vinny, we actually battled the year before in the championship. It was a mix-up, and they switched us. And we end up knocking them out. The playoff thing to go to the state championship. And he did it to me the year before, but 2020, we were together and we went to Nationals. He said, you know what, let's get the band back together and do it again. I think we can really do it with this squad.
Okay.
And you see kids that he had that was, 5'8", 200 pounds. I said, yep, we can make this work. You know, it was just a perfect marriage. And I always salute them and thank them for what they did for us together.
Together,
Yeah,
right.
stronger together is like the motto.
And you talked about your super moms and your parents. Could you talk a little bit about the influence your parents have had with the team, how they aid you in that process?
This is a selfless, thing really right here. I have to really, really let them know that it's not about like one person.
Yeah.
Without them, like I wouldn't be able to do what I do. You know, they're stuck in moments where they have to be coach,
Right.
mom. I mean, then I had to say dad too, because if I'm sick, which I actually did get sick.
I know when I called
down
you were
there.
sick.
So when I'm down and the room is closed, they're the ones that's out there with the kids. And they probably had gray hair because now they know what coach goes through. And they didn't know, but, having a strong team like that.
Right.
So that's why I said a lot of people say, oh, I'm just mom or team.
You're like, no, you're more than just.
It takes all of us to
village.
do it that way, but I wanted them to feed off of my energy. Even when I first met a certain person that I'm like, you're going to be okay. I'm going to let you know it's not like any other team, and I don't just say that. So it's kind of like, how you get the chicken at the mall and it's free?
Yeah.
It was good too. When and they're so confident they give it away for free. And that's how I was.
Okay.
I'm confident enough in the product. I give it to you for free and you let me know if you like it or not. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know this is a big question. It's loaded, but I really would like you to talk about what was the path to getting to that championship Florida game. Like, could you just
oh, the season.
the season, like what? Because it was. I mean, I saw the video footage on Fox, and I read the articles, and even trying to do the GoFundMe campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Could you like help us to understand how tedious that process was? And I didn't get an update on the GoFundMe account. I saw the interview, and I think the next day you were still. It was closing down. I'm like, that's a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so I know she gonna look at me crazy. Because I always used to tell her, I got it. Just calm down. Just
I was watching the interview, and I was just like, that's a lot of money. Yeah,
right,
it's
right.
nerve-wracking.
It is. But when you got faith, in God, and then things just happen like that for a reason. That's why I put up the post and I said, watch this.
Okay.
I didn't know what was gonna happen though.
Okay.
But let me backtrack. You said for the season?
Yeah, just like giving us
like, how does it
what
go?
led
Okay.
to that, and
So,
what were the things that we probably should understand about. I mean, yes, they had to work to get there, so helping us to understand that part of it.
So this is the part that I meant about not being a regular team, right? So we're considered the super team. I like the name, but you know what that's associated with LeBron and D-Wade and all of them doing that. So we got guys that come from different areas, different teams to play on the same level, same group. So the first game we played with each other in the tournament, we were so raggedy. But we had all the best players.
Right.
And we were playing another all-star type team, and we lost. And everybody was like, all of this super team, y'all lost. And I was just like, okay, calm down.
Right.
We'll be fine.
Right.
We don't even know each other.
Right.
We did this, and we ended up losing by a touchdown. Then you get into your regular season, right? And we already had this type of swagger that we knew we would just go through. And we had a team that was targeted, which was the second game of the season. So we ended up beating them how we wanted to, and we knew where we would be, right where we thought we would. So all of the season games, we thought we had a straight shot to Florida, and which means you don't have a regional game. So you got to win state, then you got to win a regional, then you go to Florida.
Okay.
We got a call in October saying you do have a regional opponent. So if we lose that, we don't go.
Right.
So all of this promotion and saying that we're going to Florida, that could have been like a fear if we lost. So I'm looking at like, guys, this is don't do this. No pressure, but we have to do this. And the parents, they never, oh yeah, we good. Everybody's, when you win all your games, that's just what they expect. Like, oh yeah, they gonna win. Heart was beating because you just never know because they're kids. I'm not playing. We're grown. They the ones that got to pull it off.
Right.
So we got all the way to state, and then we went to regional. I found out who it was that we were playing. Remember I told you in 2020 that we went and played in National?
Right.
That was the team that beat us.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because we were only playing at 4. And then I looked in my son's eyes and the guys that was there. He said, oh, you ain't got to worry about it. we got this one, and then we end up playing them, and we beat them. And after that, I said, well, the dream is coming true. The super team's put together, and we going to Florida. But once you just go to Florida, that's not it either. Now you got the best teams that did the same thing you did down there, so you have to go through step-by-step process.
Right.
And when you got down there, we had to play, where'd they come from? San Francisco, I don't know, North Carolina, and then Pennsylvania. You have to win all these games to get to the Pop Warner Super Bowl. And we did.
Okay.
And, we were doing it, too. Like, we came in swinging. I don't know if it was 35-6 the first game. They had one of the biggest kids I've ever seen run the ball the second game from San Francisco. You can't just look at somebody and think you're going to beat them when you're down there.
Correct.
It doesn't work like that. And we end up not winning all those games, and then we went to the championship Super Bowl. But Coach was with 103, temperature down, sad, and we end up losing. And I know if I look at every one of them in their faces right now, we played that team again. Will we beat them? Yeah. They know it. They know it. And it's just, but I don't want to go off track.
Right.
All of the football winning stuff is just kind of secondary to me.
Correct. I agree.
We go down there, we go to Gatorland. We had a birthday party down there, which is Max. He's over there right now. We call him Silverback.
Silverback, and I saw Money. Was it Money Mouse?
Yeah, that's
and
him over
ATM.
there. Yeah, he is over
They
there
was
right
calling
here.
you ATL. I said that ain't his
No,
name.
that's him right here. Yeah. So I really get off on that part
Right.
when we can come down and have the barbecues and
Right.
the talent shows in the house. We went 3 different places in one day where they were speed racing, playing the game, bowling, all of this type of stuff. And that's my thank you to them.
To them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, man, look, you guys do this. I love you. You love me, and I'm going to show you. But it's not even just everybody. You can do it. Everybody can just have it. Like, Tony and they went to games down, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the NBA games, everything. We were there for 10 days, 11 days.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have kids in the house that don't live with each other.
Yeah.
And parents, we all got different personalities. So
Right,
if we had a video camera to see that, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
traveling to the thing, everybody's tired. You got to play your game at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
It's a lot. And then you had kids getting sick. On top of this,
Mhm.
still trying to finish the goal and be the big story, but at the end, top 2 in the country. When
Top
they think
2 in the okay.
they never would have even,
Mm-hmm.
they would have counted us out.
Right.
And, not to make this like a color issue, you know what I mean? But it's real.
Right,
When they
it's
see
real.
where you come from, they like, oh, no way they'll be able to raise that money.
And that goes
And the
right
time
into
frame.
my next question.
Uh-huh.
Like, I saw the GoFundMe account. I heard 30,000, but then for some reason I thought it was 50. What was the goal, like the goal money amount for the GoFundMe account?
I think it was 30.
30?
30,
Okay.
30.
Okay.
But, like, that never really matters.
Okay.
Like, the goal on that, I mean, it's something that you say because that's what the trip costs.
Cost, right.
When you say that, like, yeah, each room per kid is like $1,100 to $1,500 per. And when you see the bill, I'm like, man, this is real. They really want us to pay.
Right.
I mean, you look at the $31,194, and what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
So we start getting text messages from the coach. It's not looking good. And I said, no, I didn't come. We didn't come this far to do this. And,
Right.
So now it's time for me to use some of my, resources. Made a post on Facebook and told everybody calm down. We're going to because we raise money by having fun.
Right.
One of our fundraisers, we went to Woo's house.
Okay.
And instead of paying this amount for a ticket, they paid a little more, and that helped pay for some of the people to get their fees paid. So I put that out. I could start getting calls, friends, family, president here,
Right.
all of this type of
Everybody's
stuff,
like-
and they just saw all the stuff we do, and it's genuine, and then this person matched this person. I saw you on this. The news hit. Hey, come down and see me. It was $20K in 20 days.
Yeah, because my chairman reached out. Have you heard about the military Dixmoor?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? He's
Yeah.
like, they're everywhere. And
Yeah.
like, it was just like, you
Yeah.
have to meet these guys. They're
Yeah.
really doing their thing out in
Yeah.
Dixmoor. So it was like a lot.
It was a
of
real. I mean,
press
we was
around-
up, and we were going out to the stores, and we would just tag, and then they would say, "Hey, come down to this store. Has this? If he does this, I'll do this." And I'm like, "Okay." And it was like, then it came $1,000 a day, was the donation thing. I was just making this stuff up, and it just happened.
And it
When
just
I would lay
happened.
down, and I'm like, "Oh, I guess we didn't hit the $1,000 mark," and then I would get a call, "Come up and meet me at the store."
Oh, wow.
I'm telling
That's
you, and it was just
awesome.
sticking with like they was right, like
Mhm.
they were so excited because they know everything we do is from the heart.
Mhm.
I couldn't believe it.
Mhm.
But and everybody's like, wow, they really, really did that.
Mhm.
Then we got a call from the mayor of Maywood, and he said, I'll get you guys a check to match whatever Dixmoor did.
Oh,
And
that's
that-
awesome.
That closed us out. And I
that
said,
was-
I mean, I was just almost in tears.
I'm sure.
Because he asked me how much were you short, and he's like, I can't do that. But if Dixmoor matches this, I'll close you guys out. I said, all right, there we go. And I was on my way to get the check the next day. And that's what the money is for. When you go down and see all these kids being able to do the stuff that they do,
Mhm.
there ain't no feeling like that. So winning the championship, that's great. But that part right there, they'll never forget that. Never.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for.
Mhm.
I think that's what I was born for.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so this is the part of the interview, Eric. I want to get some sound bites because I want you to help us understand it's really not about the win, but you did have a historical run.
Yeah.
So can you kind of give us the landmarks or the historical significance of this experience for Dixmoor, for
Okay.
Illinois, so that we can really understand the full picture.
Okay. Well, there's never been a 10U team in the state of Illinois to even make it to nationals, yet alone make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, this has been 65 years. And I was
65
trying to
years.
explain to them, like, guys, I know you don't understand history, but maybe when you see the wall, you'll get it. You'll get it. You're doing something that you can come back and look and say, look, when I was younger,
Right.
we were able to be the first team ever to do it. But I told you when they get used to winning, it's, oh, yeah, we got it. I'm like, no, listen to me.
You're part of
There's
history.
never.
Yes.
There's been some great teams in Illinois. Great. But this team is the first to do it at the age group to get down there and not only just make it to Florida, but to get to the Super Bowl.
That
You know,
is
ever.
awesome.
65 years.
65
Yep.
years.
And just to be clear, we only was together for 5 months. And we pulled that off.
5
I mean,
months.
that's why I said it's a part that you don't know.
You're right.
We were traveling in party buses to practice. When I say I'm driving. No CDLs driving. So, I'm saying this is called whatever it takes. So if mom come and she pile up in her car, you get your car. Don't worry about it tonight. I get them something to eat, or they stay at your house for the weekend. Whatever we had to do, we did it. 5 months.
And no football, like you guys don't have a park, right?
No park district, no.
You just in the backyard of your home, just practicing. And
I mean, no, we practice at the school, but we got like a corner piece.
Corner,
You know, we only it's got the gate because it's a lot of other kids.
Mhm.
It's not just one team. We got 9 teams,
Right.
and we just have our corner. Don't mess with our corner. We straight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all we need.
No problem. Right.
That's all we need. And
Right.
then some people, we need more room to do more stuff. I'm like, no, just when they got this and they hear this, we'll be all right.
Okay.
We'll be all right.
Well, the last part of my questions is more about your future goals. So before we get there, can you give us the names of your team mates that are here, team youth, and then also the parents, so that we can give them their name. We want to publicize your name so that you're just not like some ambiguous team. You're individuals. So
Are they able to say it themselves?
yeah, are they able to say it themselves? Well,
be
especially on
easy.
my end, I could hear you just fine.
Can you come closer to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love. Come on, Tom. That's the big man on campus right here, baby. So
Is that in your shot? Sorry.
No, he'll have to go in a little
You want to
tighter.
come on in?
Okay, so I'll have you give me your full name, okay? Okay, go ahead.
My name is Tony Bush Jr.
Okay, nice to meet you, Tony. And I'm going to push this over this way. Okay, give me your name.
My name is Amari Terrell Clark.
Okay. AKA
ATM.
ATM. Okay. What's your name?
So,
There he is.
I'm Braxton Maxie, by the way, aka Silverback.
Silverback. I saw you Silverback on the news. Okay.
My name is Jacob
Jacob, what's your last name?
Bender. Jacob Bender.
Janetta, why don't you pull back a little bit? Yeah, there you
Okay.
go, because I can't see it.
Got you.
He has a nickname too.
What's
But-
your... Okay, we'll come
We'll
back to you.
okay.
Okay, what's your name?
Mouse Tyson.
And you're Money Mouse.
Money Mouse.
Money Mouse.
Yeah.
Got you. AKA, I want to make sure we get your nicknames. And moms, can you introduce yourselves as well?
Sure. My name is Brittany Bibbins.
Okay. Perfect.
Mother of.
Oh, I am the mother
Oh,
of Braxton
Silverback.
Mack.
Braxton, you look...
Silverback.
Yeah, they look just like that.
I don't know.
And that's my son there.
Which one? Oh,
Money
wow. Okay.
Money Mouse.
Money Mouse. Okay.
And my name is Cheryl Bender. I'm the mother of Jacob Bender.
Jacob. Okay. Nice to meet you. And then what's your nickname?
My nickname is King.
King. It fits you.
And he's a part of the Pancake House.
What's the Pancake House?
Well, it's like all the alignments, including the center, and just we basically we pancake people.
You know what a pancake
I
is?
told you,
you wanna
I'm
explain
older,
to her or
so
you want me-
the pancake for me.
Okay. All right. So pancaking is when you block somebody and squash them down.
Squash
flat.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's you can't win the game without the big
Without
guys. And that's why I told them you get the quarterback first, and then they draft these guys. So, Tony, how long you been playing? years,
Actually,
3?
like 2.
Yeah, 2 years, and you would have swore to God he's been playing for it since he was 6 years old.
Oh wow.
So now they got this thing where they have the pancake. All of the guys are his size, and they're just boom, boom. You know, they start to fall in love with their position, but we want them to know, like, the pancake house is the reason why we able to move the way we move.
The Pancake House.
Yes, they are great. They are great. You know, when you go, everybody hears about the quarterback, running backs, and everything like that, but I let them know from the gate, this is a selfless team. We got some guys that even play offense. Some only play defense. You don't get that level until you get to high school and college, but they sacrifice and say anything we need to do for the team. You know, some guys that came from other teams that joined us that just bought in. You know, but I'm like, we cannot let this go by. We have the greatest line in the country.
Right.
And these guys, like, they'll probably be future millionaires because they just built.
I'm claiming that for you.
Yeah.
Future millionaires.
Yeah, big time. They just, I told you. And then we do, I think, I don't know if I told you about the GPAs, right? I did, you know, but we got one of the, he might have like a 5.7 GPA, and then, but both of them next to each other. We have 4.0, and then he's like a baby genius here. Jacob, you want to speak on that?
Jacob, this is
Yeah. Yeah, so Jacob, tell us about your GPA
about
stuff.
it.
Just comes easily.
natural for you, huh?
It's not hard.
Yeah, so he was our guy when we were walking through the park, you know, when it comes to Disney or what were we at? Universal Studios. Had a map, and he was letting us know, no, you're going the wrong way, coach. And I'm like, oh, Jake, how would you know? He's like, well,
I'm
here,
looking at the map. I
yeah,
know.
technically we have like 30 steps, and then we got to make a left, and then we make a right, get
Oh,
something to
that's
drink. Yeah, I'm like,
awesome.
oh, man, you are going to be a doctor. Then he said, no, I'm going to be a engineer.
Oh, that is
He already
awesome.
know
kind of engineer?
what kind.
Electrical.
Oh yeah.
And he's not playing. This is his first year.
Oh wow.
And I let him know. I told his mom, I said, look, he's around a lot of dogs, and they're gonna bite.
Right.
And I'm like, just let him know it's not a regular team, so he's gonna get better by default.
Right.
And he just hung in there. You know, he's a smart guy, kind of quiet, and she was like, oh, no, my baby. I said, look, you know, because you see, you know, Tony and they'll go to butt.
Right.
Trying to pancake.
Yeah, trying to
Pancake,
pancake him, but now it teaches him to do the same thing.
Right.
You know, but I was just surprised looking at all of the report cards, like, wow.
That is awesome.
Straight A's, Maxie.
Right.
Same thing. What you got, Max? 4.0?
Yeah.
Yeah? ATM? Honor roll?
Beach.
A's and B's?
That is awesome.
Yeah. And years ago, we had an honor roll pledge that I always wanted to have a team that everybody could do it. Honor roll pledge. And we never did it all the way, you know, because everybody did it. But I'm like, this team actually did it. They're good. They're smart. They're funny. They're cool. They're helpful.
Good personality.
Yeah, good personalities. And like he's being all nice and stuff. But
King is
look,
being
yeah,
calm.
King looking.
And I want to get
he's-
King's mom's name. I didn't forget about you,
She
Mom.
wanna
I
hide in the
just-
corner. Look, she like,
I'm
hello.
Melody Ferguson.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, that's a good transition as we transition the interview to the conclusion. What are your goals, Coach, for 2023 for your team?
2023. All right. I was known as a guy that was just low key. You know, everything I did. I don't have an Instagram. Or,
You really don't, right?
Yeah,
It's
no,
like-
yeah, no Instagram, no TikTok. But everybody knows me.
Right.
You know, from doing the stuff that I do. And some people say, look, you need to put it out more. This story is great. Your house burned down. Nobody knew about it. You had all the uniforms in there a month before. And they thought the program was going to go away. We got our own street sign. You know, people need to know about this story. I said, okay, we'll do stuff like this in 2023. And my goal is not necessarily for me, but I want them to get what they deserve.
Right.
You know, like we said, we got some great moms, great dads too, great parents, good. You know, I think we're changing the world in our own little area. So it's not just about the football thing. It's more than a game. But 2023, I need people to know about what's going on. And I would like a movie or some type of documentary.
Right.
Yeah,
Get you a
I'm saying that because it's a real story. When you hear the other one, you're gonna say, "What?
Right.
You spent $200,000 of your own money?" Yeah, I did. and I went to 0. And that's the part that I'll probably sit here and shed some tears because people don't know about that. I sacrificed my own life to make sure that the program was okay.
Right.
You know.
Well, you mentioned that you're very low key. So how have you guys handled all the press that you've received? Do you train them on like, hey, this is how we got to do media training? Or is it just like just gonna go for it? Because that's a lot for like you've never done media. Then you have all these people on interviews. You guys on Fox News. They have all this stuff. Like, how are you handling that part of the process?
Well, the first time we did it, we just ran with it. They was helping me. You know, they do all the little digital stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know how to set this. They got, Dad, we got it. Hey, Tim is like funny going back and forth. Don't worry. He's sitting all up under the camera. But they just spoke, and I think that's the best way. Sometimes people think I might have to come in here with a suit, which I can do if it's needed, but this is me.
Right.
This is Coach. You know what I mean? When you see me in something, I got my hat on, I'm ready to rock and roll, and I think they feed off that. It's no need to be nervous. Like Tony, I'm letting you know, just be you. Be cool when you talk to people. Talking is talking.
Be yourself.
You know, be yourself. I think you don't even have to sell anything. You guys are the top 2 team in the country. They want to talk to you.
Pretty
You know,
awesome.
so that's the way that's my message. And I got some other guys that I can't wait for you to meet them either.
Right.
You know, they got some nicknames, Bone Crusher. You know,
Bone,
and when you see him,
about Bone Crusher, that's before they talk thinking about the musician Bone Crusher. Oh, that's
and you'll
funny.
be able to pick him out when he comes to the room. If I don't even tell you, like, that's him, ain't it?
That's
I'm like,
him.
yeah, that's him.
Okay. Okay. So my last 2 questions, Coach. Do you have any advice for other coaches who aspire to kind of have the same historical run? Like, do you have any advice that they should follow?
My advice is you can't fake it, no matter how good it looks, no matter how much stuff you put on the internet. The real is gonna come out. So don't pretend.
Right.
If you do it from the heart, you'll be all right. It's gonna be a struggle. Adversity is the word that I fell in love with.
Adversity.
Yeah, because it's like, you know it's coming. And it hit me on the last day, you know, as far as us being sick and everything like that. But it's more than that because you deal with, all of us go through stuff, even the kid. You know what I mean? But you have to be a manager of it all. And then you're going to get people that, I'm looking at Melody over here in the corner, that she can be attached to, she sees somebody giving they all, and somebody still might have a problem with it. So my advice to them is, don't do it for that. If it ain't about them, don't, you know, then you're in the wrong business.
Right.
Seriously, because you got people that do this for a business. You know, they're structured to the T.
Right.
Laid out. You know, boom, boom, boom. Oh, we're going to do this, $60,000. No, not us. You know, and I'm proud to say that because I know what's coming.
Right.
You know, this is the reason why we're able to do this, because we did take the stairs. You know. And I don't recommend everybody to do it the way we did, because you can't. You got to be built a certain way.
Right.
And this is something that just came from, I think, God.
Right.
Because every obstacle that came up to shut us down, I just went around it. Or new people come in my life. And you look up and say, wow, I was looking for this.
Correct.
You know? So that's, I mean, I had a lot of people stab me in the back. And you did a lot for them. Or blow your whole program up over something that you don't even understand. I mean, ooh, I'm telling you, there's some stories that'll break you down because you don't understand. Like, you take all of this stuff and you build it up. And why would you come and fight here?
Right. Or
why would you do this to put a black eye on this program?
Right.
So they counted us out multiple times. And now we stand in a place that I'm really, really happy of. So 2023, though, I think it's time to tell the story. 13, 14 years in, and we don't do it for that. You know? Like, when we leave here, like some of the kids will go back to the house and they'll go play. And it's just a part. It's just the way we are. You know, most people, they're not like that. You know, you're not playing football, you don't see coach. You're not training, you don't hear from him.
Right.
And I'm telling them, like, no, we not going to be like that. I want you guys to be a part. I could have came by myself. You know, I could have. But it ain't about me.
Right.
It's not.
So as we put out this press, how can the public help you with your goals, and how can they support the team as a whole? What's your call to action?
Resources.
Okay.
Resources. Sometimes we need places to go to watch film. We need places to practice. You know, I'm tired of begging for certain things, and you got to wait on approvals, even though I sit on the board with, you know, we don't have what other neighborhoods might have, believe it or not. So when you look at even a college, if we had access to certain stuff like this, man, this would be nice. 'Cause
Stuff like what? What at the college level?
I mean, you got the Performing Arts Center. You have I'm gonna say a lunchroom.
You just got Eric excited. You mentioned the performance.
I mean, really, because we have things that you got kids that have personalities that might be interested. It's not just about the sport. I want them to broaden their horizon with stuff. So, but they have to see it.
Correct.
And that's why I take them everywhere else. We can easily go to the movies and Country Club Hills, but we're getting ready to go to Gurney Mills to see Creed.
Right.
March 2, but we want to make it a thing. Everything we do, we want to make it a big deal. But my cry is resources. And finances, because some people have monies for, I didn't even know. I'm like, you guys get grants to do the stuff that we do for free. We feed our kids after practice every day. And I'm not talking about just the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Am I lying? Did we get, right? Chicken,
Good food.
macaroni.
That's cost money.
Yeah,
Right.
Taco Tuesday. And it's a thing. Like, nobody's giving us a card to do this.
Right.
We do this because I told you, like, we're in it. I want you to have the best experience when you come here. If I could do that for everybody, we'd like have a lot more happy people
Right.
in the world. That's what I'm trying to let you know. So, like, when you join a team, you're not just joining a team. This is like fraternity. I had my son talk to somebody that was on the team. He's 24 years old, and he was almost in tears just talking about the memories and things like that. I said, yeah. And he's going to call and help, the next guy. I said, that's what I want. They should be able to call you. You should be able to call them.
Correct.
Forever. When I'm gone, keep it going. Not just the team.
Right.
If it's not the same way, then shut it down.
Correct. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Anybody else have any last words, or you want us to just go ahead?
Yeah, I'm like, I would like to hear.
Go ahead.
One thing I had to say that I love Coach Tyson. He was the best coach I ever had, and the only coach I ever had. And
My odds of being the best is good,
Right.
he taught me how to do everything. Taught me how to catch better, how to turn the corner when I'm running, and a lot of stuff. He's just not a coach. He's like family to all of us. And we love him because every time we come over at his house, play the game with Miles, and I'll be whooping him sometimes. and yeah, so I just want to say I love Coach Tyson.
And give us your name again.
Braxton Maxey.
Perfect. Anybody else want to say something? Your last words.
ATM?
Come on, ATM.
ATM is like the workaholic of the team. I mean, he told us he can't come to the movie sometime because of what?
Working out and being busy.
Working out.
Okay.
So he's the first one. I give it to him. You see him? He got his helmet on,
Helmet.
running back and forth. He came from another program.
Okay.
And I think he was wary when he got here because he felt like you had to prove yourself. And that's how he came out. Like, he was the guy. And he was like, who is this kid? And
Right.
he's from this program. I'm letting him know, like, he's going to be all right. So he was one of those guys, like, in the movies you see. He's good. He got the look. He got the strength and everything like that. But how does he fit in with what we got going on? Because he's too busy to come hang out, But you all right now? You had fun this year? It was all good. Yeah, okay. Miles, what about you, man? Ooh.
Look at we need that picture. We need that picture. With those
ATM YouTube?
Go ahead and put your fist
Oh,
out
that
there.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, we definitely got to get a picture, you
Yeah,
guys,
they
with your
are.
hand. Yeah, that's a picture.
So I can speak on that too.
Yes.
We had like 5 rings in 1 year. 6, 5, maybe. And that's we
confirm
won.
the 6, Jacob.
Was it 5?
Not for you.
Oh yeah, see Jacob came. Yeah, he started later.
Later,
So
okay.
we did it in the spring championship. We came and we did it in the fall. Did it in the regional. Well, then we had a sub-regional game. And then you get the national. I think I'm missing something. State, yeah. It was. I never seen so many rings.
Look at
But they deserve it.
Yes.
They deserve it. And I don't think they never even thought about that they were going to lose to do it. But I told you, they are doing so much stuff with this ring stuff in youth football. I don't. I'm just kind of. I'm ringed out. I think I gave my rings away. But I love it. I don't want to take it away from them because this is what they do.
Right.
This is what they do. You see? You Miles, go ahead. Give
We're
show
gonna
her.
take some pictures
Yeah.
of those
You
rings.
gonna
That's
take them off?
No, yeah, pass them up so she can see.
I
These
want-
things are heavy.
Right.
The things are heavy.
Huge.
Look at that.
Yeah, and they earned them. They earned them.
These are
I
awesome.
know, right? I said, man, they didn't have this stuff. When we
Right,
was
what-
playing, this is cold blooded.
These are right. This one is nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moms, any other? You guys have any last words of sentiment before we wrap up the interview?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Coach Tyson, when I first met him and my son came on the field, his passion, he looked at my son and he said to the other kids, we got an athlete coming on the field, jump in there. And I'm worried because my son was new at football because
Right.
he only went pee-wee, but he couldn't play. And he just did his thing and he embraced it. And I look at this man and the way he's around these kids and the attention they give him, and I said, his passion. I've never met a man so passionate about kids.
Mhm.
He looks so far beyond things that I would look at, like, hey, I like X, Y, and Z. He's like, nope, we'll be okay. I'm like, you're killing me here. You know, that's how we go. So my passion for instantly cooking for them, just watching they're out there on the field, I just start bringing stuff because he'll come like, let's go. I'm like, they're hungry. Let me feed them. You know, let me help him because
Right.
he helps them effortlessly without hesitating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just out there the way that he fathers them, you know, and bring the parents in to help with that. You can't help but want to help him
Right.
because he feels so strong about these kids, and I love it. I've never seen it before. And I've been around coaches all the time,
Oh, that's awesome.
all the time, and he's definitely the best.
And would you give your name one more time?
My name is Brittany Bivens, and I'm mother of Silverback Breast and Mexican.
Silverback. Perfect. Any words from you, Mom?
Yes, I just wanted to say, piggyback off of what Brittany said. He is very passionate. This was my son's first year playing football. He did do a little spring football, but this was his first time actually playing on the team. And as she said, he was embraced really well, and it made him work harder to get to a level of understanding football really good. And so he was very passionate about that. Not only is he passionate about school, but he's very passionate about football. That's one of his favorites. So I just think having a coach that is so dedicated to the task, dedicated to them having experiences, was phenomenal. I also want to say, you know, with these children, these kids are from all over. They are from everywhere, from Chicago, from the south suburbs, from the east side. They're from everywhere. And so for them to travel back and forth, now, what he said winning the games, but we talk about the practices, okay?
Correct.
That we had to be dedicated to bringing the children to these practices, sometimes 4 days a week, you know. So he's really like stern with not them just winning a game, but actually, you know, being in rotation with having those stern practices on a weekly, you know, basis. No matter if they had school and homework, and no matter what, you know, practice, you know. So he's very dedicated with that. And when he mentioned resources, I think that's like ultimate, you know, for this team because, you know, that 30 days, $30,000 in 30 days was a big task, and not just for him to try to figure it out, but for parents to try to figure it out. We have some single moms, you know, I'm actually one of them, to be honest, single moms that didn't really have all of, you know, the resources. We had parents that, you know, worked, you know, every day and just couldn't make that task happen. And so having resources up front, because we are going back to the Super Bowl, and we are going to win. And so we don't want to get to the end of the month, end of the year, trying to figure it out.
You would have
So,
right.
yeah, that would be a big deal for us.
Awesome. And say your name again.
Cheryl Bender.
Thank you. Okay,
Man.
Mom.
You in the corner. I know
You
you
in
don't
the
want to. You
corner.
don't
I
want to
know
be
she
on
thought
that.
I was
And we this our first time meeting each other too. And she's
So I am Melody Ferguson. I'm Tony Bush's mother, King. So King comes from Proviso Bills. So, you know, you guys know about the merge. So we've known Tyson not even that long, but let me tell you this: Tyson is the most compassionate person I've ever met. He's just a great all around person. He dealt with 25 kids, 25 parents, all with different personalities, and he handled it all with such poise and, understanding, and like that meant a lot to me, a lot. So we love you, Tyson. We love you.
That is awesome. Okay, that concludes our interview. That was really awesome. We are now going to, let me stop this before I, here we go. There we go.